Hey, hello everybody. If you're watching this, I guess you've made it to my website. You've made it to the manonpurpose.org website, and I'm so glad that you decided to stop by to take a look. So today this video is to kind of introduce you to Man on Purpose. The website, of course, is pretty in depth with what we're all about, but I just wanted to add a personal touch and personally say hi to everybody, and again to welcome you um, to my new website. I say new because there's been a lot of things going on. This last year has been kind of unbelievable. Um, God has just done some amazing things. I've had my ups and my downs through the year, but overall, what we're about to launch here in the next, I'd say, a couple weeks or so is just. I guess that you can call it a dream come true. It's something that I never believed would have ever happened, but it's happening. So I'm so grateful for that. But I can't share that yet. That's a surprise still. Um, like I said, just keep checking back on the website. I'll be posting on Facebook. I also have a Facebook page, Man on Purpose, as well as a Twitter. It's at a Man on Purpose. So just keep checking back, and my goal is to share more, to be more in the videos, and trying to just launch 2016 with a whole different perspective, and just again, the whole premise behind Man on Purpose is, of course, being more intentional. Man on Purpose is all about becoming the man that we are intended to be, with purpose, on purpose. So we do have a purpose, and I believe in order for us to reach that purpose, we have to be on purpose or intentional on finding out what that is. So that's basically the whole premise of Man on Purpose. That's how it all came about. Me searching for my own purpose, and I know that there are several men out there that get up every morning, go to work, come home, you know, pay the bills, whatever it is, and not really going in any specific direction, not having any idea as to why they're even here. And that's one of the questions I used to ask myself. You know, why am I here? Why do I have some of the talents that I have? Why why am I here? Why am I not happy? Or a better word maybe is not fulfilled. I never felt really fulfilled in doing whatever it was I was doing. I mean, I could work and work and work, and I had several businesses I started, and just never ever was really fulfilled in anything that I did. So it's not always about doing it well and doing it to the best of our ability, because if that's not what we're created to do, guess what? It doesn't matter. You can make a lot of money. You can take your business from ground level all the way up to, but if that's not what God intended for you, you'll still be feeling like you're missing something. So again, and that's the whole idea behind Men on Purpose. So my goal is for this year is to come alongside men and kind of just be just there. Just I'd like to build a nationwide chain of men where we just come together and we just share our daily struggles. Because we all have them. We all have daily struggles. It's not that I have the answers, but what I believe is if we come together as men and allow God to just work in the midst of that, we need that in today's society. I mean, it is so hard out there with all of the things that are out there that are trying to pull us away and keep us in this cloud of darkness, and we kind of don't even realize that we're there. So I think I'd like to help men be able to step outside of themselves and kind of take a peek in, the movie A Christmas Carol has been playing lately, and my favorite one is the one with Jim Carrey, the animated version. And if you remember, those three spirits came and they took Scrooge, and so he was able to have an out of body experience, so to say, where he got to see, the past and the future. And so I think that we need to do that sometimes with ourselves, is kind of step out of ourselves and kind of allow God to give us a vision of who we are currently. I know it kind of sounds kind of wacky or whatever, but it's possible. And that's part of being intentional. That's something that we need to do as men, so that we can evaluate where we currently are and evaluate the direction that we're going. So anyway, so again, the purpose of this video is to introduce you to the website, to introduce you to Man on Purpose, to introduce you to myself, and let you know the direction that Man on Purpose is trying to go, not with just bringing men in, coming together, but I'm looking at, teleconferencing calls and men's events and all kinds of things. I've had, been able to speak at some events in the past, and I'd like to be able to do more of that. And with what I have upcoming and get ready to launch, I think that's going to be a good platform for me to be able to do so. So I just want to let you guys know that, I'm here, and this is what I do. This is, my wife and I recently moved to Texas. So here I am in Irving, Texas, and in Las Colinas, and we're just now, getting into a church, and so I don't have the guys around me like I used to when I was still in Atlanta at Victory World Church. So it's basically kind of starting this thing all over again, recreating something that's already been put in place, but I'd like to expand it and make it better than it was before. And again, just really pushing, trying to get men involved in this, because, I've been trying to do this, be honest with you, I haven't been trying to do this on my own. I've been praying about it and just really seeking God on what direction I need to go, and for him to provide the necessary guys to be a part of this. I'm talking not only just to be a part of the calls maybe, or the discussions, but actually to be a part of the administrative part, of Man on Purpose. So I'm trying to also at the same time try to build an inner core, so to speak, a team of, a handful of guys that really believe in what we're trying to do, and want to live their life more intentional, becoming better men, not even for ourselves necessarily, but for us to be better representatives of Jesus. That's what we're here for. We need to strive to be better representatives of Jesus, and to get out there and really, I'm not saying that we're all called to be street evangelists or what have you, but there's always a way to where we can share Jesus with other people, and that's what we need to do. Especially, come on, look at these times. Just my gosh, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And one of my favorite evangelists that I listen to is Todd White, and he said, for all those years, 22 years, he was an addict and an atheist, and no one ever shared with him the love of Christ. And I can kind of feel that too. Before I became a Christ follower, nobody ever really shared with me the love of Christ. There was religions that tried to get me saved, but they never shared with me the love of Christ. And I believe that that's what the goal is to not be religious, but to share the authentic love of Christ. And the only way that we can do that is we have to receive it. If we don't have it inside of us, we can't give something we don't have. And I had to learn this, and I'm still learning. It's not, I haven't reached any kind of pinnacle or something to where I have all the answers, and every day it's a struggle. Every day it's a battle. Every day it's staying in prayer and just. But again, the key word here is whether I fail or get back up and keep it moving. The bottom line is being intentional, being on purpose, constantly reevaluating where we are, what we're doing, being intentional with our growth, being intentional with prayer, being intentional with doing the things that we know that we should be doing, and being intentional with not doing the things that we know that we shouldn't be doing, the things that harm us. And sometimes we don't even realize it. I've had several discussions over the years with guys who, they talk about certain movies. Oh, what's the problem? What's the harm in this, and what's the harm in that? And it's like anything else. You can eat some sweets today. No, there's no harm. Eat some more tomorrow. Eat some more the next day. You keep eating those sweets long enough, eventually, a couple of things are going to happen. Number one, your teeth are going to start rotting out. Number two, this is going to start getting bigger. And I don't mean with any kind of muscle, you're just going to turn into a blob. So that's the same thing that happens in our spirits. We can get fat, so to speak, in our spirit as well. Fat and lazy in our spirit because we're not working it. So the only way to work it is to come together, read God's word, stay in prayer, and then be intentional in doing the things that we know that we need to do. So that's Man on Purpose. That's the premise. That's the basics. And those are the kind of men that I want to be the core part, but then we need to go out and bring those men who aren't quite there, who don't understand or have those questions, and try to bring them a little bit into this world of intentionality. I'm also a John Maxwell certified trainer and coach and speaker as well. And I've studied John Maxwell over several years. And so that's why I decided to get certified. But I like to incorporate his teachings in what I do. And one of the biggest laws that John Maxwell wrote is what catapulted me into the whole Man on Purpose. And it was a law of intentionality, where it says growth just doesn't happen. So that was probably one of my most favorites, because it's a call to literally be on guard, to literally do something now. It's an action word. It's to be intentional means to do. And so I think that's one of the, like I said, one of my favorite words. And it's hard. I fell at it a lot. My kids they'll be the first ones to tell you. But then, once we realize our mistakes and our failures, is lifting that up in prayer and seeking God's forgiveness and the people that we may have hurt and keeping it moving. All of that is about being intentional. So, again, that's Man on Purpose. That's what I'm trying to lay out there. That's what the website's about. I do welcome, your comments and questions and whatever you may have. There's several ways to get in touch with me. My new email address is admin@manonpurpose.org. You can email me. You can message me on Facebook, Man on Purpose, through Twitter. However, there's ways that you can get in touch. And again, I'm going to be working towards building a group of guys that want to step up to the challenge. It's a challenge to be intentional every single day. So that's going to be my challenge to you every day, that we do something intentional, something that gets us out of our comfort zone towards bettering ourselves so that we can be used by God. And that's why we're here. That's the bottom line, is God put us here for himself, not for ourselves. And we kind of get that wrong, I think, a lot of times. We think we're here supposed to be seeking our happiness and everything that we want. And that's just not true. A lot of guys won't agree with that. They think that, they deserve this, or they have a right to this, and that's the problem with society now. We get offended, or we think we have all these rights, and we've taken the Constitution and kind of just bent it all over the place to where we can just we're basically doing whatever the heck we want to do. That's basically what it boils down to. If somebody doesn't like something, guess what? It gets changed because we think we have a right. Well, that's not how it works with God. And if any of us been a Christ follower for long enough, we understand that it's God's ways, not our ways. Our ways is what's bringing destruction. If you just look around, you know. So anyway, I don't want to get too deep into that. But these are things that we can talk about as men. You know, we come together, whether you're professional, whether you're not professional, whether you've been a Christ follower for 20 years or you've been a Christ follower for 5 minutes or you haven't even accepted Christ yet. It's a discussion. It's a daily being intentional, helping men to become better men, helping men to become the man they are intended to be. And again, if you ever want to discuss, you know, again, I don't have the keys. I don't have like this special answer that tells you, well, okay, you know, here's the recipe. Well, we all know what the recipe is. It's following God. It's staying in prayer. It's again, it's being intentional. It's staying diligent with doing the things of God, not the things of me. You know, because as long as I stay in that on that road of doing the things of me, I don't think I'm going to get very far. I've tried that, as probably many of you have. So anyway, again, it's just